getting my smoothie ready now. So yeah, that was one of my best investments in my off season, to get that smoothie rolling, because again, like, I struggle sometimes getting micros in. So having that smoothie, and like first thing in the day is like, yeah, getting a good amount of fruits in. What I'm putting inside there is like frozen berries. So anyone living in Thailand, macro, can just order that bunch, and yeah, I'm getting that ready. So what I put in is 160 grams, so wherever it lands. So that is also one thing what I did much different this off season is I don't track calories. I didn't track a single macro calorie for, I have no idea, 6 months, 7, 8 months. Because again, I'm just gaintaining. I don't force feed, I don't want to lose weight, so I just eat based on my appetite, but I eat that I'm very full at the end of the day. So that ensures I'm eating enough. So I'm just eating until I'm very full. Again, not something I would recommend for the majority of people. So, but for me it works. So, and again, I have like a good amount of experience. I have a good idea of like, okay, I still hit my protein. I have a good idea where I'm at roughly. Right, next thing is like, I get those in, 7-Eleven pineapple, some banana. Yeah, most or all my groceries I get usually from 7-Eleven, and frozen stuff from Macro. So very simple, very straightforward. So we got the pineapple in, we got the banana in. Next thing is some good old honey. I put like 50 grams inside here. Another 50 grams as well in my post-workout shake. So that's just a nice way for me of getting like some extra carbs in, some extra calories. There we go. Honey is inside, and next thing is some strawberry juice. I sometimes it's coconut water or strawberry juice. There we going for some strawberry juice. Getting that rolling here as well. 400 milliliters. Final ingredient is a little bit of almond butter. And then we're having the final ingredient is obviously some whey protein. There we go. Yeah, and the best thing is like I get a bunch of calories in like early in the day. That is one tip I can also give everyone having a harder time gaining weight or like getting calories in. Yeah, just have like a good amount in the morning. So again, I'm not just like blindly eating like 100% how I feel. If I would do that, I would definitely lose some weight right now, because now I'm in a body composition and so on where I'm like definitely somewhat at the higher end of my settling point still. But I want to stay there, because being at that higher end means I'm very metabolically like flexible, super recovered. My body is like, hey, if it has to, it can even use body fat as fuel. So I go with that approach. And yeah, but I still keep all the habits intact of like making sure I eat enough every day. So I have like this shake every single day. I have like my 2 getaways or 2 per carry sweat during training. I have my post-workout shake with milk, honey, whey. Then a few hours later, I have like a proper meal, which I usually order from Grab Food, and some broccoli as well to get my macros in. And then yeah, another evening snack with like some candy bar or some Haribos. And that is how it goes, guys. That is how it goes. Shake is getting ready. At the same time, I'm very efficient getting my post-workout shake ready too. So, same thing here. Getting the honey rolling, and then the whey rolling, and also putting some creatine inside. So, and one thing I do during prep, I do honestly all the same. Only thing I switch up on is, I mean like the meal frequency, all that stuff, I do the same. So instead of a smoothie, I have a proper meal. Instead of like milk here, I put water in, no honey. And then again, all it counts in prep is reducing calories, or in a fat loss phase, reducing your calories. That is it, nothing magic about it. That is why in your off season, you need to have those habits intact. You don't need to figure anything out. The habits are there, then you start prep, and all you have to do is like switching out some stuff you eat in a way, or eating less, but yeah, those two things. That is it. So getting the shake going now. That is the plan. No, drinking this one, getting this one ready, and then see you at the gym. There's a lot of things to update on. First thing is, prep starts in 4 weeks time. Super excited, so excited, because I took the whole year off last year. So it is like, 18 months of gaining. I didn't have a single mini cut, not a single one, throughout those 18 months. And as you probably knew from the previous videos, I took that gaintaining approach this off season. So I maintained my weight, my body composition. I even got a little bit leaner throughout, and I did that kind of recomp experiment, which worked for me. Again, for me personally, like so well. The progress in the gym, better than ever. My recovery, my sleep, all of it is so improved. Where like in previous off seasons, where I took that force feeding kind of thing, where my body is just, it really doesn't like getting like, let's say, above 12% body fat. Like once I'm there, my body's like, nah, shutting down all my appetite, everything down, but also my digestion, my all of it gets kind of a hit. And this time around, what I did is just like giving my body what it needs. And that is like, it is context dependent. Most people are dependent on a small surplus to be metabolically flexible, like in a state where your body is just like feeling, hey, because it's a metabolically very costly endeavor of like building muscle. So most people, like the majority, needs to rely on a small surplus. But then again, like for some people, like for me for instance, the thing is like, my body just feels amazing with low body fat, and as long as I eat on maintenance calories, my body is in a metabolic state compared to someone with like 20% body fat, or like, and so on. So my like body is just feeling like, hey, I'm in such a good state and I can recomp. Again, that is the thing when it comes to recomposition. For most people, they need to be 20, 25, 30% of body fat that this works. But my body is like physiologically, when I'm at 12% body fat, in the same state where my body is like, oh, I can use that body fat for fuel to gain like muscle, for instance. But then again, also at like maintenance calories. So training progress was going better than ever. Physique made significant progress at like now almost 14 years of training. So but again, the stage, as always, will confirm that. That is why I'm always so excited stepping on stage, because like the stage is like, it doesn't lie. Like people can talk, blah, 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 I made progress, this and that. But then again, the stage is like the best thing. That's what I love about the stage, because even within social media and so on, people can tell you like, oh, that gaintaining thing, that doesn't work, why are you doing this? And then again, results never lie. And I'm like someone, when I also look up to other athletes and so on, I don't check what they're saying. I just look at their results. That is all that matters, right? The results, what actually happens. And that is like where everything matters, honestly. So rest of the session was going very, very well. So here I was doing the hip press with like 3 different stances. Like that is one thing that kept my knees so happy this off season. Also on the pendulum squat, I'm doing that. On the hack squat, I was doing that, where I start like the first set with my feet higher, where I can also use a little bit more load, but the knee flexion, like the stress on the patella, is just less. So I'm doing that. And then the second set, I do like a medium stance. And this set, what you see right there, is like my lowest, most quad dominant stance. And the main thing here is it's already a little bit pre-exhausted in a way, so I'm not as strong as it would be my first set. And my patella tendon, my knee, is just way more warmed up. And before, when I started with my lowest stance, I always finished that session and went home already feeling my knees a little bit icky and so on. And this way I not only get like a better warmed up knee, like better warm up out of it, I also I feel like every stance gives me like a little bit like a different tension across the quads in a sense. So with the higher stance, a little bit more, potentially maybe a little bit more tension on the vastus lateralis, potentially, I'm not sure, but and then lower I move more so toward the VMO part, the vastus medialis part of the quad, and so on. So like this method is working very, very well. Sorry about that flickery light that is always happening when I'm recording sometimes. And here we're doing the adductor machine where my hips, they are more extended here, which bias is somewhat more like the biggest part of the adductor. And and I really like that Atlantis piece. It's like quite old school, but it works very, very well. The only downside, it is a little bit light. So even myself, I'm not the strongest guy. I moved the whole stack here, very controlled, having like even a little bit of pause. And the thing what I'm doing is like when, let's say, the stack is our limiting factor in a way. We can't just move more load. The gym pin, something like that can work. But another way that can really, really work is like, just working with long pauses, like extra good execution, just trying to make it as challenging as possible. And sometimes we just don't need as much load. So there's a lot of ways to work around it basically. And or even just increasing the reps and so on. So but then in hindsight, like that leg extension, that is crazy heavy. Like I had not even half of the stack. So and I think I won't ever like max out the full stack here. So having that seat belt going, that really helps keeping my hips in place right there. And and I'm doing my reps here. I do an activation set. I was managing 15 reps there 2 times in a row. So I do that 2 times in a row. That really confirms I'm like ready for the next jump and then moving up with load next week. And and then working my way up to 15 reps in total. I do that activation and then I start at 0 again. And it took me 4 myo rep sets. So afterwards I did like 5 reps, then I did 4 reps, 3, again 3, and then I went into partials. So that is working very, very well. And the only thing is with the handles, like they're a little bit low, so I have T-Rex arms, but it's still working very, very good. And with those myo reps, it's a good time saver honestly. And and I get a lot of work in a shorter amount of time. The same thing what I'm doing on calves here, doing that activation set, 6 to 10 reps. And then I do like 2 myo rep sets on those, like having long pauses down there, ensuring my Achilles tendon is like not bouncing out of it. It's crazy how strong that tendon is, because when I go like, I do that on seated calf, when I go to full on failure, muscular failure, I can still bounce it out, like to re-whack it. And that is the main thing, like that tendon is so strong. That is why like doing the bouncy calf raises, all you train is you don't really train your calves. That's why I think a lot of people struggle with calf gains. It's just an execution issue. Same thing with sometimes back movements, arm movements. Like execution is the main thing. So when you nail that, your muscle basically has no chance but to adapt and get bigger. So I have legit 3-4 seconds pauses down there. Currently repeating the sequence quite a lot, but just making it better and better and better from each time. This one here, like Garhammer raises, really like that movement for abs right now. It's the first time as well in my off season, since I train like also somewhat more the lower abs in a way. I do this one, on the other day I do the machine. And like abs, something I neglected quite a lot within the first few years, but now, training it 2 times a week, going very, very hard on abs as well. and I'm sure it will pay off once stepping on stage. So was an amazing session today. Definitely very, very hard. I luckily switched the gym to Unreal Gym in Bangkok, where there's air condition, but even the air condition right now with like almost 40 degrees, it's not fully cooling it. But yeah, almost passed out on RDLs and the hip press, but took some extra long rest periods, and no, was a great session. Upper body tomorrow, 4 more weeks to go before prep starts, and yeah, and super excited for everything that comes. So any questions, guys, leave it in the comments, and I will see you soon in the next video.